So this is the second video in this beginner's method tutorial. In this we have to fill this middle layer after that you have made first layer and that you have an arrow sort of thing. I hope you have practiced that. And so getting started with that. So again you have to find the edge pieces which goes in these slots on the upper layer. So for instance, I have this red and blue piece. So what we have to do is match the color of this edge, rather this color of the edge with the center. So I just do a U-tube to match it. Match the edge with this, and then what you do is you need to see where this piece needs to go. So it's red and it needs to go to the right. Just take it that you have to move this edge piece to the right. So when you have to move it to the right, what you do is move this edge away from the slot that it has to go. So over here we do U, then bring this up, the R layer up, R, then you do a U prime because we have to align these two, U prime. Now you do an R prime to match this and reset this. So when we do an R prime, what happens, you can see that here, this matches and this goes back. It was here, now it's here. So simultaneously we do certain things. That's all cubing is about. You do many things at the same time. Yeah. So now that you have a pair, now we need to insert it over here. So I guess you can figure it out. If you haven't, then what you do is you pull it away again from the empty slot. You have this empty slot, and then what you do is bring it up, insert it because you have to make the block, and then reset it. Easy. Bring this up, which has to be inserted, and the piece and the pair that has to be inserted, you need to match it with these two. You match them. Now you have to undo what you did to make the edge piece where it has to be. Great. Now let's check for other pieces on the top layer. We have this pieces. Coincidentally it is matches with the center, and this time it has to go to the left, the green sticker which is over here. So overall this edge piece, green orange, needs to go to the left. So when it has to go to the left, what you do is exactly the reverse of what you did. So you actually, not the reverse, the steps will be the reverse but the concept will be the same. You move this piece away from the empty slot that it has to go. So we do a U prime, then we bring this up because we have to insert it over here. Bring this up, then we break this piece. When we have broken it, then we have to match it with this. Then again we do a U to clear the empty slot, rather to set it up to move it into the empty slot. And can you figure it out? Yes, it's like this. Simple. You have the pair, you have to insert it over here. So R, U prime, R prime. Now we have this. Let's check for other pieces. So we have this green red piece. Okay, it again needs to go to the left, so move it away from the empty slot, bring the empty slot up, break that piece, match it, move it away from the empty slot, insert it. Easy. And the last piece that we have is this one. So when we have this, we could do is just the same thing, move it away, empty layer up, break that, bring down to match it, move it away, bring the empty layer up, and then insert and reverse. Simple. At times what you will have is, let me set it up, something like this, or some other piece may be over here. It could be any other piece which has to be in the middle layer. For example, this green with orange could be over here. So if it's that case, then what you do is swap this edge piece with any of this piece. What I mean by swap is, if you do the same algorithm, or if you do the same moves which were explained previously, it would exchange it with any of the edges on the U layer. So if I do, I'm going to exchange it with this. So move it away, bring the empty layer up, break it, match it, insert it. And the concept remains the same. So you can just recall that this yellow piece was over here, and the blue piece was over here. So what it does is an F prime. Okay, so you can also remember it like this. You have to do an F or an F prime to move it to these layers, but you cannot do that obviously, because you are going to break the pieces that you arranged previously. Getting back to the topic, which was to swap it with these two. Now that we have swapped, now we can again match it. Like we have matched, it was already matched, but still we have to match it. Always notice that this piece has to match with the center, otherwise it would end up like this. Let me show you. If you match it with this, then I did the same thing to move it to the right, it was misplaced. So this is what happens when you do not match it with the center. So when I've matched it with the center, I did the same thing to move it to the left, and now I have the middle layer sorted. And you too, congratulations.